Hey guys, it's Shane with Empire Canine Services. Hope everyone's having a good day today. I'm doing a video today touching up on the video that I put up on my site about a week and a half to 2 weeks ago explaining canine activity programs and which ones I would recommend. So again, yes, I've had some questions about this and what are some good recommendations. So I'm not going to talk too much. I'm just going to dive right in and give my opinion on what is good and what is not. So whether you're a law enforcement officer as a canine handler wise, or whether you're a private search and rescue team or in a different entity of that, or whether you're a private dog trainer that trains in various of different areas of training, um, trying to keep a good activity and keeping track of all your training progress for your dogs is a crucial thing. I know a lot of people like to do that. I know I do. And it's hard to find good programs out there. So today I'm going to show you two programs, and if you watched the video about a week and a half ago, you would have saw one of them. Today I'm going to show you both of them, so you can actually get a side-by-side comparison of them. I'm going to actually make I'm going to make a training log in there so you can see how it's made, how it looks, how the layout is, and how the reporting system works in it. And I'm going to show you that on both softwares. That way you can get a good idea of what you want that's better going to fit your needs in this. So the first program that I'm going to show you is one that I currently use, and it is called CATS Canine. Now, what I can say on this program here is this program is used by private trainers, it's used by private search and rescue teams, and it's used by a very, very large amount of law enforcement personnel as well that are canine handlers. This one is integrated to where you can, if you're a canine handler wise and you have to have supervisors to review your utilization reports and for them to approve them or decline them, this here is integrated in that as well, so that you can have, a supervisor review your reports that you've done, and that way he can, grade you on them and so forth. So pretty much with this one here, it's a very good layout, and I'll pretty much go in here and explain this to you, and I'm going to explain it on different parts as well. So whether you're a private trainer or whether you are a canine handler or you're on a search and rescue team, I'll explain this to you. So if you download it, and if you are a private trainer and you want to basically add a new dog that you put in here, say someone just came in, they hired you, and you put the dog's name in here. Now, if you're doing like basic obedience or something like that, obviously you're not going to put a handler in there because you're just training the dog, and then you're going to eventually train the handler to handle that dog as well. But you pretty much put the dog's information in here. If you want to put the handler's information, you just go to users, put them in right through this area here, and then you'll go to teams, and then you'll basically attach them. It might be a few steps to do this, but once you get used to it, it's pretty simple. As far as the reporting base of this, let's just go ahead and do a training form. So if I was to basically go out today, and whether I'm a law enforcement officer being a canine handler, or whether I'm a search and rescue person or a dog trainer wise, this is how you would record your stuff right here. So pretty much you want to go on the team. So I'm just going to go and click on a team that was made. And say I go out right now, and I'm just going to do a search and rescue one, a tracking training form. So say I go out there, I make it right now. I'm going to go and start the time right there. I'm going to go down here to this port, and I'm just going to upscale this time just a little bit here, just to make it look a little bit good. And then I'm going to save that. And if you look right over here on the right side of the screen, follow my mouse, you'll see these open locks. These are reports that have not been checked or graded, but you'll see this very top one. This is the one I just made right now. So now let's go back over here to the gray area, and you'll see the session details. That's what I just entered. And if you look right down in here, you'll see the hours, 0.27 hours. It automatically calculates it for you. It'll also automatically calculate a training number as well. So let's go to activities. Let's go to create an activity. We are going to do a search and rescue training. I'm going to go and tab down. These here do stay the same. I'm not sure why it does this, but in time, even though I just put it in on the other page, I still got to do it on this page. So I guess that's a little bit different, but it's okay. The activity hours, it will automatically put that in there for you. As far as the environment, say I'm at a park, okay, or I'm at a store, whatever it may be. Now, for an example, a store is not in. If a store is not in there, or I'm sorry, yes, it is in there. Let's say that I'm at Lowe's. Environment is a Lowe's, I guess. this is just for an example. You'll see it's not in there, not found, but there's a little green plus sign. That means you can add it in there, okay? And it'll always stay in there. But for now, let's just go and put a park. And I'm going to go over to surface type, which is going to be grass. Location, let's put Wiggly Uptown Park. That sounds good. Another part is your weather details. It puts them in there for you. Obviously, if you're doing this for narcotics work, which we're not doing a narcotics page now, but having the weather information and details is a very crucial thing for a utilization report. So it's always good to have a software that puts it in there for you. Once you get done with that, is go over to objectives. And once we're in objectives, this is pretty much, what are we doing today? What's our objective? So it would be pretty much, let's just go in here, increasing distance and adding several turns. That's our objective today, what I'm going to be doing. And then down here on performance, you'll see how it gives you an option. Just click on there and you can pretty much select how the performance was that your dog done, how they perform. If it's 1, great. If it's not, okay, then just pick whatever it is. Say we're going to 5. Now you'll see on 5, this new box down here meant corrective training required. So obviously improvement needed. Okay, what's he need improvement on? If he done great, superior, but there was just one little thing that he didn't do, all you gotta do is uncheck that blue box right there and add that corrective training in there. Now comments. This is where you pretty much use your narrative and basically type your narrative in. So you could, I'm not going to type a whole narrative here, but just to give you an example, you can type in, scent pad was laid, track proceeded, straight for 50 some yards, turned right and then continued going straight for another 170 yards where the track was ended at. And then you can pretty much put on there, how your dog performed over there. If the handler of the dog, whether that's you or if you're a trainer and you're training someone else's dog and the handler has some comments or something, you can feel free to go in there and put the dog's comments in. I'm not going to say this, but that's pretty much how you fill a utilization form out. And to pretty much go over like the reports wise. So if you're wanting to print out your reports, just go to reports, go down here to training. And then now you got a lot of different graphs here. You can go by the graph. Now the graph is if you're doing different areas of training. This is when your dog is, trained in various locations, narcotics tracking, article search, criminal apprehension, stuff like that. It'll show you the graph of, all the areas that your dog is trained in, how he's performed in as well. So it's a good thing if your dog has a dual purpose training record wise. But just for right now, let's go ahead and do training detail by team. And this is if you want to get a copy of every single one of your reports, or if you want to print every single report out and put them all into a book and binder and keep a hard copy as well. This is how you do it. But you click on that, it'll go to a separate page. You just go over to this box right here. And let's go and click on a team name, and that's going to load again. Once it loads, go all the way down, you'll see this box here. Click on select all, and then go to apply. Once you click apply, every report that's ever associated with that dog is going to pop up. So 1 out of 83 is going to pop up. You'll see them all right here. And pretty much you can print by going right up here, save it as a PDF, and then print it off. All right? That's how that part works. As far as utilization forms, when you purchase the copy of this software and you're using it for, say, law enforcement wise, there will be a box right beside this training box that says incident. And that portion of it is where you actually insert your complete incident. And it's got a lot more detail in there as well. Now to go in this program, when it comes to, say, customer support wise, the customer support on this program here is phenomenal. I love the support on this because when I call, I'm not speaking to one customer agent that has to send me to someone else. I speak with one guy, and it's the owner of this software. Now, furthermore, I am not advertising this software. I am not, doing this for any kind of publicity. I am just answering questions to people that have had questions about, hey, what is a good training activity software that I can use? That's the only reason I'm doing this, and I'm just throwing them out there so you guys can have suggestions to use what you want to use. As far as all of the records wise, your records are saved and they're secured into Eden Canine's Consulting. I guess their maybe cloud or whatever cloud they're in, or whatever cloud they are paying to put all your stuff in. but from what I've been told from him is that everything is in a secure. This is all a secure network, so all of your files are safe and secure. That's one of the programs here is that I really do like it. And you got a template change here to where you can go to cat's default. You know, change your color, change to ultralight, Google Skin if you want, or tactical. That's what I usually use. Another part here is that if you are a trainer and you get hired by a person for they want you to train them in search and rescue, or you're going to be training them and a dog as well. So what you can do is you can set them up on this program as well, and you can start teaching them how to do this. And if they're at home with their dog and they want to do some training and they start documenting inside the software as well, you can go right up here and all of their stuff that they put in, it will show up on this side over here along with everything else. So it'll pretty much show up right over in this section with all these reports, and all these things here will be unchecked. That way you can go in there and look at them, review them. Or you can go up here and click on the mailbox here, and you can actually email each other back and forth. So this program is a very good program. Another big plus about it is that it's integratable with Mac, it's integratable with Windows, iPad, your cell phone device, whatever you want to use. It's all integratable. It's all compatible with those. So this is a very, very, very good software. It's what I currently use right now. So that's that software. All right. If you have any questions about this software, remember, leave it in the comment box, and I will try and answer that as soon as I can. Let's go to the next software really quick. You open this bad boy up. Give this virtual machine a second to load up here. All right. So this is the other one. This here is called Code Blue Designs. And I used this software here a lot a couple years ago, and I love this software. The software is great. I love the layout of it, and it worked really, really well for me. The only downfall is it's only compatible with Windows. Anyone that knows me knows how I am. I hate Windows. Windows is the worst program ever made, in my opinion. I'm sorry if anyone takes offense to that. I just don't like Windows. But if you have a Mac or anything else like that, unless you plan on buying a virtual software and then like a Parallels or VMware, unless you plan on buying that software and then also buying Windows and then putting them in together like I had to do this time, you're not going to get this program. But if you have Windows, it is an excellent program to use. So your user profiles up here. This will pretty much explain everything about you here. Your dog profiles. You can list as many dogs as you want. As far as let me see here, themes, you can change your themes as well on this. Change them to any color that you want. It's up to you. That's a little pink. So pretty much, let's go in and I'll show you how this works. I'm just going to create a training form again, and that way you can see what the training forms look like. So let's go in here, and I'm going to go to New, and I'm going to create a canine training document here. And this is what it's going to come out looking like right here. Well, this is the start of it. So what we're doing here is I'm making a canine training form. So you'll see this right over here. If this was a utilization form, like an actual incident report, this would not say canine training. It would be a different wording. I'll make an incident report so you can see it as well. So for training wise, let's make a search and rescue training as well. So search and rescue training, all right. And it always says your business name here. So if you're in law enforcement, it'll say your law enforcement agency. If you're a private trainer, it'll say that. You can match this here. So we'll go ahead and match this here with a dog here. If you have a supervisor, they'll show up here. If you're in a district, it'll show it up here. That's if you're in law enforcement wise, and you need that. Private trainers, you really don't need that much. Or even search and rescue, you don't need that much. All right, so pretty much this here is your start, end time. We'll just leave that how it is. Location, let's put Wiggly Park. Sounds good to me. I can learn how to spell. Reference, what are we referencing here? Let's just All right, so since she's not saved over there, I'll Sadie and then reference state Stella as well. So this is the dog that's going to be matching with this handler over here. And then right over here on reference type, that's the dog that's going to be attached with this. If you have a training numbers you want to keep up with, you can just put them right inside there like that and create your own. All right, now let's get to the nitty gritty of it where we're going to add. Now this is where we put all of our crucial information in. So we go to add new and then blank activity. And we're doing search and rescue here. So I'm going to go for a search for a person. Activity, search and rescue training again. And this is how we're going to pretty much do this. So, you know, hey, scent pad was made and so forth, and you'd pretty much type that in there. So scent pad was made, track, let me see here, went down a hill next to a creek and turned right. Now you can just put a whole bunch of detail in there. I'm just doing this for an example wise. And this up here where you'd go is, how, was it successful? Was it not? If it was, let's go and put successful on it. And then we'll go in here to add and edit fields. So we're going to go in here, click on edit, and we're going to go right here. This is a track related item, not a item related find. So track related, then we'll go here, and we'll pretty much explain what are you looking for here. All right, so let's go and put adult female. What was the distance? Let's go 150, tab over, put in Y, yards, find location, let's put in the woods. And then you can add stuff over here if you want to, over in this area. But if not, you go into save and close. But one of the things I do like about the software is the distance-wise, 150 yards. If you're in training, I think that's a big deal. I want to know how far my dog's training so I can keep a good record of that. This part right here isn't in Cat's Canine. I wish it was, but it's not. But all programs are different. Save and close. Once we're in that area, then pretty much this here is done. We'll go up here to save and close as well. We'll bring it back to the main page where we first started at right here on the original one. We'll go to record notes. And all you do in here is just auto-generate narrative. And what this will do here, the first one that just pasted on there, is that is what we made when we were filling everything out at the beginning. Now we want to go to this block and press auto-generate narrative using activity notes. Once I click on that, you'll see right down here, that just got inserted in there, and that's what I typed in. And all you got to do with that part is just save and close again, and then it pops up your stuff that you made. Okay? As far as, let me see here, if we've got a printable reports, we can always go in here, find the dog we're looking for. So for the dog we just had, we'll go there, refresh, and it'll bring up all the records that we just made. So let's go out of here really quick. This load up, get out of there. All right, so here we go. Good. All right. And this is what the program will, or what the layout would look like if you are printing this record off. All right, it'll look, let me kind of shrinking this a little bit here so you can see it. So this is what it would look like here. It'll explain everything down. You got the location, the dog, and the handler. And if it's an officer wise, it'll have an officer right here. Your supervisor, he would approve it right there, and there's your whole narrative there. Excuse me. Now, for deployments wise, you go to deployments, and this is where you would go if you're actually utilizing your dog and you're a law enforcement officer or you're an active search and rescue crew. Go to deployments, and you'll pretty much see at the beginning, everything is pretty much laid up the same. The only thing different with utilizations is... Alright, sorry about that, guys. I had a call come in. I had to answer that. So let's go back into this. So for your utilization forms wise, is you'll see a lot of different things up here at this top bar you can click on. So for your canine deployment, as you'll see right here, you go down here and let's go and put narcotics detection training in there. All right, and your dog, you can pretty much put whatever dog in here you want like this. And for this part, you'd put your supervisor in if you want, and you put your primary district. Now this also goes for search and rescue as well. Okay, so you can do this for search and rescue training. You just type it in this box right here. You go over here, let's just put Wiggly Park and reference, there we go. We'll put a number in there as well, and we'll leave it at that. So for the next line over here, if we go to people. So this is where you enter the individual's name if you're doing narcotics work or even search and rescue training, criminal apprehension, whatever it may be. And you put their name and information all through here. If it's vehicle related, you'll put the vehicle and everything inside of here, the traffic data, record notes, and all the way through. And then once you get done with that, obviously you'd go in here to the where you add the you're adding the blank activity and so forth. You type everything in here just like you normally would. If it's vehicle related, you'll click there. If it's a canine alert on a vehicle, you'd click there, and pretty much you'd so forth go down the line like that. And that's how this program works. Very good program. I love the layout of this program. But for putting two programs side by side, if I had to say which one I like better, I would probably have to say that they are both very good. If I could take what I like out of Cats Canine and take what I like out of Code Blue Designs and form my own software, these two softwares have differences in very minor things. But I like certain things that Code Blue Designs have that Cats Canine don't, and there's things that Cats Canine has that Code Blue Design doesn't have that I like. So I guess it's a preference of what you prefer. On my position, I don't use Windows very much, so I'm kind of narrowed down to what I can use. So I use Cats Canine. And that's not to say Cats Canine is not a good software. It is a very, very good, and it's also a very reliable software, and that's what means the most to me. And lately, I can say that Code Blue Designs has had some issues with their software. I've had some downloading issues, but if you know anything about software, you're always going to have some issues with your software. That's inevitable. It's going to happen. You just have to make sure that if whatever software you're using is at the support line is actually very good. And if they're very good, then you're not going to have to worry about too much because you know they're going to take care of it and get it fixed for you. So that's probably one of the main reasons why I've chosen to use Cats Canine over Code Blue Designs. So moving on here. Now, to answer one more question about CRM softwares as well. And this goes when you're more of a private trainer. Is when you're a private trainer, you want to find I wanted to do the same. Is you want to find a software that is going to do every single thing you need and only have that one software. Okay, so there's where one of the issues lies is that I found out is that I had to have two softwares. One is because you have a CRM software, then you have a training platform software. All right, my CRM, I use Pawfinity. Pawfinity, I put all of my leashes that I sell, all of my collars that I sell, all of my all the training that I sell. So if a client comes in, they sign a contract. I put them into the system. I put their dog. Now I'm talking about put them into Pawfinity. I put their dog into Pawfinity, and then pretty much I click on what they're wanting to purchase. If they want to purchase basic obedience, I click on that, and then I cash them out and I send them on their way, and then I set them up with a training date, and we start going from there. Once we get to the training dates, then I start using my Cats Canine or Code Blue Designs, whatever I'm using. The only thing difference is that I set up all of their appointments on Pawfinity. So all of the CRM and everything for all of that, I use Pawfinity. When it comes to record keeping, I use Cats Canine. So you can record keep on Pawfinity because they have training notes, but it's nothing like you're going to want or what you're going to need. And you're never going to find that out of a CRM. You need to have activity training activity keeping software, and then you have to have a CRM software. So I hope that I answered a lot of questions. Prices wise is right now Code Blue Designs is going for about, what are they going for? I think it's $100 a year if you go for the one that is saved in the cloud. So I'll get you their prices right now. So right now for this one here is $59 a year. If you go to web-based data, it's $99 a year. So the difference is if you're excuse me, if you're non-web based, that means all those records that you're keeping and you're saving, they're saving on your system. And that means you're just going to build up, storage in your system. It's going to get slower. And then if something happens in your system, it crashes or you get a virus, you have a chance of losing every single record that you have and never getting those back. With using the web-based system, is all of your files and all of your training records, they get uploaded to the cloud. So you sync it all to Code Blue Design's cloud, and that way it's always saved in their cloud. So that's the prices on this. It's $99 a year for as many dogs as you want. And then non-web based is $59.50 a year, many dogs as you want. And this here, you also have an option if you just want to, it's available soon. It was available, so they might be updating a couple things in it. But this one here is $59.50 per year as well. And this is just if you're just in search and rescue, that's what that program has. As far as this program this one's a little bit different. Excuse me. So this right here, it charges you by team. So let me go up here and see if I can get you the prices here. This thing load up. Let me just sign out here. See if that'll work and bring me back to the home page at least. All right. Get out of my page there. I don't know what the heck that is. Register, subscribe. Okay, so I have there we go. So this one right here is, so for pricing wise, it's a little bit different. So for a premium, which is pretty much you get everything, is obviously 5 to 8 dogs is $13.75 a piece. Now what that means is that for one dog and one handler, you're paying $13.75 a month. That's it. If you have 5 dogs, you're paying $13.75 times 5 per month. So this software is a lot more expensive. It really is. If you're just doing training, then this is where you're at, right here in this box. So it's not a bad software. I will say it's more expensive. So if you're trying to stay on the cheaper side, you can look more towards Code Blue. If you're okay with a little bit higher priced, but better customer service, and all around just better support and better everything else, I would go with Canine. I'm not going to downgrade Code Blue Designs and say that they're not good, because it is a very good software. Myself, I just like Canine a little bit better because I can use it everywhere. If Code Blue Designs was compatible with Mac, I'd probably use Code Blue Designs because it's a little bit cheaper. But for other reasons as to why I use this, I like this program. It's very good and it's reliable. And I like that I can dial a number and I get the owner of the software and he fixes all of my issues if I ever have an issue. My thing is customer support. I like having good support, and I have had a few issues with Code Blue Designs, but nothing that's going to deviate me to say that that's not a good software, because it is a very good software. Other than that, I hope I answered everyone's questions. If you do have any more questions, leave them in the comment box, and I'll try to get those answered for you. Other than that, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, again, leave them in the comment box. Have a good one.